Did you have any stories that you wanted to share, little anecdotes about teaching or
Yeah, I can
coaching?
share a couple
Either one.
stories.
Yeah,
Share a
we want
couple
to hear
stories.
stories. We like stories.
Okay.
Stories are probably the most effective way for us to understand what it's really like
You're right.
to be.
You're right. Okay. So this is a story that I tell in my talk to parents. It's a talk that I give that's called What are students thinking? And that's what I was saying earlier. The first part is, here are some patterns of student thinking that I've noticed in my classroom. Here's how it matches the data that we're seeing coming out about Gen Z. And then part two is, what do we do about it? How should we then disciple? So this is a story that I tell in that talk. This one comes from my English class, and it happened about, I think, a little over a year ago. So it was during pandemic schooling, and the unit that we had just finished, the culminating project was students had to build a town. It was like they had to make a PowerPoint presentation about this fictitious town that they created that was like centering around their own values and what they cared about and whatnot. And they had to do a presentation on it. And so every single student in the classroom, in my English classes, had as a central value in their town, in our town or in my town, you can be who you want to be. You can do you. No limits, no judgment. You get to be who you are without people pushing you to be someone else. Maybe it was worded a little differently from presentation to presentation, but that was like from Jump Street, their central thing in their town. And so one girl gets up there and she says that. And so I'm starting to press a little bit with some questions. And so I go, okay, who is the poster child, like the exemplary citizen in your town? So she thinks for a second and she goes, Willow and Jaden Smith. I said, well, why? Well, she says their edgy lifestyles were rejected by the Black community. So, okay, well, what do you mean by edgy? You know what she means by edgy, right? They're sexually promiscuous lifestyle. I think Willow is even like polyamorous or something. I don't know, but according to the student, Willow was, polyamorous. So anyway, okay, so their edgy lifestyles were rejected by the Black community. And so I go, well, is there anybody that you would reject in your town? Is there anybody that
That's very good. That's very good.
that you would not let in?
You're forcing people to be
Yeah,
themselves, right?
yeah. So she goes, no, there's nobody that I would reject and kick out of my town. I said, well, nobody? She goes, nobody. So I go, okay. What about Donald Trump? And I didn't say that to defend Trump or anything. I was like trying to find her point of tension.
What was this? What year was this? Just for context.
This was right before, or maybe it was right after the election.
15, 16?
No, this was during the pandemic.
Oh, sorry. So I missed that. Sorry.
So
And this is at your current high school.
Yeah.
In
Texas. Yeah. And so immediate negative visceral reactions. It's like, oh, hell no. Trump would have to go. No, Trump's in my town. Like, no way am I letting him in. Or just like 10 seconds ago, she was like, all Miss Diversity, So I go, okay, all right.
So Trump can't do himself.
Right, exactly. So it's like, okay, so
he can't do himself. Yeah.
There's some people that you have limits on that whole principle you were talking about earlier. Like, you can do you have limits on that, right? So okay, well, I guess I do. And so I go, well, all right, let's think back to what you said about Willow and Jaden Smith. Let's say that tomorrow you find concrete, irrefutable scientific proof that the polyamorous lifestyle is bad for society, and then it's bad for that individual, and it's just bad all around. It just leads to harm. And this is irrefutable scientific proof. Would you put any limits on that in your town? And she goes, no. So I go, well, why not? She goes, well, it's all about choice. I can't get in the way of somebody's choices. If they want that, then
except Donald.
Except Donald. And I'm not gonna get in their way. It's like, wait a minute, you've found irrefutable scientific proof that it's harmful, and you're still not going to limit it. She goes, yeah, I can't limit a person's choice. And so she was just all about choice, 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 choice. And everybody in the audience was like, yeah, no duh, Bordner, why are you even asking these questions?
So they're
So
following the science.
yeah, well, no, they're rejecting the science. Okay.
I
But
know. I'm just kidding.
in this anecdote, what I think this shows is
Hold on. They're rejecting the science and they're Republicans. Hold on. I'm taking notes. Hold on. So they're rejecting the science and they're wait, they're not hold on. Hold on. They're rejecting. Okay. Sorry. I'm taking notes.
so I think what the patterns of thinking that we see from this story is, number one, they're really, really inordinately individualistic, not in a healthy way, but like in the Disney way, like you do you. Okay. And that at the same time, paradoxically, they're very, very conformist. It's like, why do all the nonconformists dress alike? Because they're all saying the same message, and you can't
That's really good.
you can't get them to question it. Like
That's
you
really
can't.
good. Yeah.
It's really hard to shake them out of it because
Yep.
it's what they've been taught for 12 or 13 years. So
Yeah.
if
That's
every
good.
Disney movie that they've watched has that same message, if they see that on TikTok day in, day out, and every teacher in their school is saying the same, you do you, just be yourself, love yourself theme, they're going to conform to it. Okay. And so why are we surprised when they go, off to the deep end? Well, they're just following what they've been taught. They're conformist. They don't think they are. They think that they're individuals and nobody, tells them what to think and what to believe, and they're their own person, blah, 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 blah. But they're really, really conformist.
Has that been effective with anybody? Do you see the light bulbs going on at all?
My hope is that later it bothers them. But in the conversation itself, they tend to be really dogmatic and dig in their heels. Like you even saw that in that story that I just told. Like I'm just popping the bubble really obviously, and it's really easy to do. But they're just digging in their heels and just doubling down on really, really, really silly stuff. Like obviously nobody believes that it's all about choice and you can't get in the way of somebody's choices and you do you. Like nobody believes this stuff. They just believe it when it's convenient. And so then you pop their bubble and you show them the lie and they'll double down. They'll end up saying like really, really obviously stupid stuff that if they really thought about it for a second, they wouldn't say. But they're just doing it to defend turf.
Yeah.